All right, rise and SKOL. Happy Friday, Vikings fans, and welcome to Rise and SKOL, brought to you by Brew Pub Pizza, our favorite damn pizza out there, made right here in Minnesota. Delicious. What do you got in your hand, Lupagus?
Well, I don't have the breakfast pizza, but Brew Pub, a lot of the frozen pizzas do, maybe pepperoni sausage, maybe a 4-meat. No, the MVP, it ups it to a 6-meat. 6 delicious meats on this thing. Cannot wait to have that. This might just be my breakfast here in a little bit.
Yeah, and the cheese on those things are absolutely delicious. Fill to the brim. Look at that puppy.
Wow.
Look at that thing.
That is beautifully cooked.
Drink that in this morning. So get over, grab a brew pub, but let's get into the little Rise and SKOL. And usually we start with the news, but man, I think we've talked about all the news. It's right now it's more rumor world, not news world.
Yeah, it's more rumors, and I think the last thing coming out is Cooper Kupp's most likely to be released and traded, which is good news for Minnesota Vikings. Could you imagine getting Cooper Kupp for nothing?
I mean, it's going to be something.
Well, it's going to cost you something, but
yeah, I there's a lot of wide receivers out there that are either being dangled for trade or just being flat out released. I want nothing more than the upgrade wide receiver 3. And it sounds like the Vikings do too.
Yeah. And Cooper Kupp, I mean, he knows the system. He's a veteran. You don't need him here for 5 years, a year or two, helping J.J. McCarthy develop. It's a perfect situation.
What about
great Weezer song, by the way?
There is no bad Weezer song. There's a couple, but that one's definitely not a bad one. Well, before we get into, we got trivia, we got comments, we got a couple games here on this Friday morning. But if you're watching, remember we're going to be live all day Monday for free agency, so be sure to tune in to that. Let me throw just a make believe news thing out there. Do you really want Adam Thielen to come back if there's a chance for him to come? If he gets released from Carolina, would you want him
back? It's cheap. I wouldn't hate it. I mean, but look at what else is out there. There's other options I'd rather have, like Cooper Kupp.
Thank you.
Josh Palmer, who I mentioned last night on Horned Up. I mean, there's other options out there.
Yeah, you love Josh Palmer.
Why
not? I want a wide receiver 3 upgrade. Let's do it. So the news will be hot and heavy. I'm sure there'll be more news today. I'm expecting it. But let's get into trivia. You ready?
Let's do it.
Which Vikings quarterback holds the record for being sacked the most in a season? Wow. Man, what a question.
It's a really good question.
Comments below. We'll put the answer out in
random too.
Little bit. It is random. It's very random. But let's play a little game. Fill in the blank. Lupagus, fill in the blank. Let's go. Blank will be the Vikings' first free agent signing.
I'm going back here. I'm trying to think of just the way that it's gone. Josh Oliver, the first one year, and it was Jordan Hicks. Last year, I think it was Grenard. I'm going to say it's not going to be the big one. I'm going to say it's the second tier. I'm going to say it's Carlton Davis.
Jesus, you don't think that's a big one? Carlton Davis.
I was going like Will Fries and Milton Williams, one of those two. That to me is the big. Then anything under that is not.
I have Carlton Davis like in that group. That's how much I've really just. I would love it. I would love that. Let's go to fill in the blank too. Vikings will spend a blank in free agency.
A pretty penny.
So you're going. They're going to go balls of all.
I think they're going to spend a lot of money. I do. I mean, spread it around, but they're going to spend a lot of it.
I hope so. All right. Fill in the blank. I'm okay if the Vikings overpay at the position of
guard. I'm sick of shitty guard play. I don't care what the contract is. Pay it.
What if it's...
I don't care. It's not my problem.
It is. What if it's Aaron Banks?
It's not my problem.
What if they overpay for Aaron Banks?
It'll be an upgrade.
I don't know if my biggest fear going into free agency is that we sign Aaron Banks.
No, I think your biggest fear is we have Aaron Banks and Patrick McCarry as our starting guards next year.
Oh my. Well, I will say this. It would be something different, so I wouldn't be that upset. But I hope we end up with something better. Last fill in the blank. I feel very guilty after
that's really personal.
Well, I mean, it can be anything. Maybe it's just, after you have a late night snack. You don't.
Yeah. I was going to say probably after yeah.
Don't say it.
No, after we have horned up, I usually have about 7 beers in me, then I have my frozen pizza, and then I usually just start scarfing on shit, and that's when I feel guilty.
Don't feel guilty about the pizza. We know it's a brew pub. All right, that is it for fill in the blank. Let's go to the top comments of the week. And I kind of there was a ton of comments this week.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of took the more recent ones because a lot of things got out of date very quickly. But I'm going to start with BK.
Mm-hmm.
BK, one of our favorites, says, my favorite now available free agent to pick up this offseason has turned to Tyler Lockett. I think he's going to be cheap, maybe $6 to $7 million, maybe even less. Tyler Lockett, we were just talking about wide receivers. What do you think about old Ty?
I looked into him when I was going to pick my free agent, and I don't know. I think the age of 32 turned me off a little bit. I didn't really see what happened there in Seattle, like why he kind of got phased out. Was it his play? Was it because of Jackson Smith and Jigba and Geno Smith just having a connection? I don't know what happened there. I mean, I know Tyler Lockett, and he's a hell of a receiver, and I would love it if we got him, but I just don't know why he was phased out in Seattle.
Yeah, I think he nailed it. Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, they just had so many things to go around. Tyler Lockett seemed like the guy who would have one catch for 7 yards, and then the next week he would have 8 for $150, and then you don't hear from him again for 3 more weeks. Tyler Lockett would be beautiful. I would love it. I would love it. Next up, W Vang says, LOL. You guys get a majority of your talking points from random Twitter accounts. Do better. What do you think about that this fine morning?
That's where you get news from these days. That's where news comes from, Twitter. I mean, we look for sources. We look for guys who are at least beat writers. And we're not just taking random shit from like NFL rumors, which is nothing but crap.
Well, and yeah, I mean, we try to cherry pick from at least like somewhat pals of the show, stuff like that. But I just thought that was funny. Jeff says Darnold on the roster for cheap. Darn good trade bait if a top tier quarterback goes down, which is an angle we really haven't talked about. No. That's why I brought this one up. Like, if we were to end up bringing him back at that 25 and, it's just not going great or whatever, and another quarterback, then you might get some trade comp. Like,
that is
going to be desperate.
That is a great angle we haven't explored. Maybe we need to get Jeff. Who is this, Jeff?
Jeff Walenta.
Maybe we need to get him on the show and help us with some topics.
Not the Walentas of Duluth, Minnesota.
No, this is it's a great idea. I mean, even think about it. Like in training camp, someone goes down August, you're scrambling for a quarterback. We have Sam Darnold. I mean, that could be a first-round pick. Teams get that desperate, especially if it's a team that was expecting to be a contender. Mid-season, maybe a team, they're 6-2 at the trade deadline. Quarterback gets hurt. They want Sam Darnold. You get, that's way better than a comp pick you would get. So, very interesting angle. Do you pay a guy $25 million? Which is a good chunk of your salary cap to potentially have that. I don't know, but it's definitely something that makes sense.
Well, and I don't think he's banking on it, but like if we sign Sam Darnold, there's going to be options. The sky is going to be falling for a lot of Vikings fans if we sign him to a $25 million contractor in that area. But JJ McCarthy can still play. This scenario is beautiful. Like there's other things we can still maybe get something for him next offseason. So just.
Would the same apply with Daniel Jones as our backup?
A trade?
I mean, it may not be as sexy, but you still could get something.
Absolutely. Great points. Matamidai says, fantastic interview with Fitzy. You guys are knocking it out of the park with the content. And Matamidai.
He's right. It was a fantastic interview.
If you haven't seen the Jason Fitz interview, go watch it. But Matamidai is... We get some comments that just knock us down a couple picks, but Matamidai is always right there to pick us up, giving us some fantastic comments. And a lot of you guys do, and we appreciate that.
Picking us up, dusting us off, maybe a little too much dusting in the mid-range.
All right, we got Daniel. I hate to say, y'all, Vikings Nation, I believe we only sign one guard in free agency, and we won't go after Dahlman. It's Brad shit again. I'm so confused. So he's saying he's trying to warn us that we're only going to get one guard, but I think that'd be okay.
That's fine. I'm going to get one guard. I'm expecting Bradbury to be back, so I'm not. I don't think Drew Dahlman is coming here.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
Oh, Brad Shit. I expect Brad Shit to be back. I'd be 100% shocked if we actually have a new center next year. But if we did go Walter Rouse and a veteran, I'm fine with that. Something different. I don't want to see the same old shit rolled out there as we saw last year. So yeah. I see what he's saying. It was funny because that was kind of all doom and gloom, but we still got a guard. So to me, it was still an uplifting comment.
If we only get one guard, we get the draft. I mean, we got guys in the roster. I feel like Brad shit. Like he could have. Doesn't really flow. Doesn't sound like his last name. Shit. Yeah, there you go. Anything. Badberry. I mean, there's options here.
Brad shit.
Brad shit.
Maybe he was in a hurry, is all I could think of.
All right, those are the mailbags for the week. We're gonna play another game here. What I like to call "Welcome Back, Welcome Back, Welcome Back."
Wow.
Ready?
I am.
All right. This is kind of this isn't very sexy, but players that used to play for the Vikings that will be free agents that the Vikings could look to potentially bring back. You got to pick one. You ready?
Okay. Yep. Mike Hughes, former first-round draft pick.
Had his best season of his career last year. Started, I believe, 15 games. And
isn't he still really young?
This is crazy. He's 28 years old.
Jeez.
When we drafted him, was he 12?
I think he was.
All right, so Mike Hughes returned. Or KJ Osborne.
There's the third square, though.
There is a third square. KJ Osborne, just, sometimes the grass ain't always greener.
Yeah. Coach Say was the commander.
I'll be clear, there wasn't much to pick from for former Vikings. There was
Please don't make it be Oliudo.
No, it's not. Linval Joseph was out there, but he's 36, I think it was. There were some guys, but I had to go with the ginger snap.
The ginger snap.
James Lynch played in all 17 games, had a sack for those Tennessee Titans, and he's still very young. He's like 27.
It looks like he let himself go from that picture.
No, he's about to. That's the play right before he got his sack.
I'm happy he's still in the league. He's got a towel.
I know. He kind of looks like a sumo wrestler type of thing. All right, who are you bringing back?
Man, I'm just thinking because I don't know what Hughes' contract, but I think he's going to probably be more than I want to give him. So I'm going to KJ Osborne. I just think he had a role here in Minnesota. He did it well. And I think he could just come back and step into that number 3 role again. And I think he'd be dirt cheap.
Well, yeah. No, he's going to be very cheap. Can we bring Lynch back to like the practice squad or something?
I mean, that's not the game, but sure, why not?
Thank you. I just feel he needs to be back here. He fit in very nicely here. All right, we just got the trivia answer. We're going to wrap this thing up. Remember, get your butts over to the store. Get a Brew Pub pizza. Best damn pizza really everywhere. And it's great because a lot of the comments, I didn't realize you can get Brew Pub pizza like almost everywhere. Like everywhere. Damn U.S. So, all right, what's your answer? Which quarterback holds the record for being sacked the most in a season?
I'm gonna go Fran Tarkenton. Damn it. Was Sam Darnold really?
Sam Darnold. That's shocking. I was very surprised. Like I knew he got sacked a lot. Kirk Cousins was right on his heels for a couple seasons there, but Sam Darnold 48 times. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that this offseason.
I thought I heard some of that was Fran Tarkenton. That's why I went that route.
All right, there you have it. Rise and SKOL is in the books. Everybody have a fantastic Friday. And we'll be here all weekend.
Eat your breakfast. Take your vitamins. Flintstones.
Get a Brew Pub breakfast pizza.
Absolutely. And remember this, in the spirit of Brew Pub pizza, the largest pizza ever made was a record-breaking 13,990 square feet.